Doctor is becoming a patient to fill you in on the dangers of living with sleep apnea.
Dr. Partha Nandi has spent most of his life not realizing he had the condition and ignoring the signs.
Well, tonight, he'll show you the simple test he took that saves many lives every year and could even save yours.
Hey, this is the mask I wear every night when I sleep. I'm living with sleep apnea, and I really feel this device has changed my life. Now, when I was diagnosed a few years ago, I knew how important it was to get treated. I didn't want to become one of those statistics, a person with sleep problems who ends up with a heart attack. So I decided to get retested and show you how easy it is and how it can change your life. You know, my wife told me, I basically stopped breathing, several times. It took everything in her power not to wake me up. And that's the reality of sleep apnea.
Sleep apnea is when you have an obstruction in your airway.
If you don't get it treated, it can shock your spouse and shake up your life.
So your airway closes like this. And if this happens a significant number of times, you'll be diagnosed with sleep apnea.
I was diagnosed 2.5 years ago following a trip up north with my in-laws. My sister-in-law, woke me up and said, he's not breathing. So I woke up and said, who's not breathing? And said, you're not breathing. Since then, I've been treated for sleep apnea. This is how easy it is. So when I'm traveling, I put this on and I go to sleep. But sometimes I feel the machine isn't working well enough.
You know what? If this is what it takes to stay alive for my kids, my 3 kids and my wife, it's not a big deal.
So, armed with lots of questions about the condition, I visited Dr. Sean Jacker, a sleep specialist with St. John Hospital. Who's really at risk for getting sleep apnea?
Those overweight. Obesity is a big risk factor for sleep apnea. Bigger structures at the back of their throat, their neck, and drinkers are also a big risk factor for sleep apnea.
It's the size of the airway, not just the weight, correct?
Absolutely. Even thin people can get sleep apnea, and that's more of a genetic thing, how the structures are at the back of their throat.
I've got kids, and I've got a family, and I know that with sleep apnea, if you don't get treated, bad stuff can happen.
It's not just about disrupted sleep at night or being sleepy during the day. You have a higher risk for heart attacks, stroke, and high blood pressure.
Absolutely. So, should you be tested?
It can be a life-changing experience. People are used to be tired, used to taking naps during the day, used to getting sleepy while driving. We test them, we found out they have the problem, put them on the machine, their airway opens up, and they feel like a new person.
And if you are diagnosed, keep in mind there is an easier mask to sleep with. I enjoy the nasal prong device that's less cumbersome than the full-face mask. They both keep open your airway while you sleep.
You just turn this on, you push this button for 2 seconds, and then you're done, you're ready to sleep.
So I decided to take an easy portable sleep study at home to check my status.
A portable sleep study is good if we actually have a high pretest probability that the patient has sleep apnea.
If not, then Dr. Jacker sends patients to a sleep lab to test them overnight.
It's pretty easy. All the instructions are right here, so even I can do it, you can do it. And then when you're all done in the morning, you take this and put it in a bag and take it to the office so they can read it. So
I slept for hours without my mask, so Dr. Jacker would have accurate readouts. That was a pretty easy test. But in my case, there was a huge wake-up call. The results, nothing short of stunning.
We did have what we'd consider moderately to severe sleep apnea.
Okay.
You stop breathing about 29 times an hour.
So that means I stopped breathing over 200 times in a night.
In a night.
Pretty much every night. And my oxygen level went down,
It went down significantly to about 72%. And you went to work, you probably had a difficult time concentrating,
Absolutely.
doing your tasks, like you said, driving, and it puts you at higher risk for stuff like heart attacks, strokes, things we don't want.
This is amazing. The snoring events, 2,402. I mean, I give a lot of credit to my wife because I would not be in that room anymore.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm out of here.
The spouses are usually the ones that get the patients to come in to get tested.
I got to thank her. 2,402. Wow. Yeah. Now, a few things to remember here. If you've been snoring for a long time, don't ignore it thinking it's no big deal. Get tested to see if you have sleep apnea. And if your partner says you stop breathing during the night, go to your doctor and get checked out. And if you have sleep apnea, please use your mask. This mask makes a world of difference. If I can do it, you can do it too. I'm Dr. Partha Nandi.
Thank you for sharing that with us, Dr. Nandi. And Dr. Nandi's live with us at 5 every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And he'd like to answer your medical questions. If you have an issue you'd like to address with him, please email him, drnandi@WXYZ.com.
All right, 7 first.